Alright, we're live. Sup, Stefan? Sup, next, I like your name. Sup, John? So, in this stream, I just got off a Twitter space talking about Next and some of the launch preparation if people want to start creating strategies and stuff. So now, I'm bored as hell because they're waiting on the third auditor to finish the smart contract audit. So, first audit is finished, second audit finished, third audit, we got a comment back on the Telegram because we do all the communication through Telegram. And he's like, hey, the first and second auditor did such a good job. I'm not even sure if I'm finding any vulnerabilities. So he's finishing up in a couple days. And we're very, very close to launch. So Next will launch within the next 10 days. So if you guys have any questions, what's up, Mike? Feel free to ask. So I just did a Twitter space. It was roughly an hour long. It wasn't recorded. Somebody in the community made it. So I decided to hop on. Let's take it from there. Okay, so for the people that don't know, I'm launching a project. It's called Next. The goal with Next is to take the best I'm still working on the elevator pitch. Basically, Next is designed to take the best tokenomics across the entire sphere of crypto, put it all under one head, make it an application layer so other projects can build on top of it. And then you have all of the value, all of the biggest, the liquidity, the buy pressure, all focused on one coin instead of having it dispersed like one good tokenomic here, another good tokenomic there, another good tokenomic here. We're taking all the good ideas, putting it into one, and making it unstoppable and trustless and permissionless and fair launching it. So there's no pre-sale, there's no ICO, there's no fundraising, there's no nothing. It's code launched on chain, completely fairly, trustless, permissionless, and everything happens through smart contracts. Couldn't it be? Can't be better than that, right? David says, what time during the day? Probably before noon, UTC time. That's kind of what we're guessing. Paul says, please do not hide the token address as so many others do. I'm not sure what you're talking about. So the way token addresses work is the moment you deploy the contracts, you get an address. So let me kind of run through the deployment process. So Next, it's more than one smart contract. There's a lot of moving pieces together. The code base is over 3,000 lines of code. So let's just say the audits cost a lot of money to get it all audited, but it's good. So it's a multi-step deployment process. So we'll deploy the contracts, we'll link it up to the dApp, and we'll launch it. So if you go to app.next.win now, app.next.win, you'll see that it's password gated. So you need a password to get in. Once the contracts are deployed, this password will automatically be removed once all the contracts are deployed and the dApp is live and ready. People can do their thing. Gooden says, do you think everything is simple for the average user? Simplicity is everything too. Yeah, as long as they can click a big blue button that says create miner, they'll be good. It's not that complicated because people need to understand that the backend really doesn't matter. You can have the most complex backend in the world and the most complex logic happening in the backend. As long as the user experience is good, it's fine. Like, for example, when you pay somebody on Venmo and you send them $100, you don't need to know the banking buttons in the backend. You don't need to know Swift. You don't need to use it if they're using a blockchain. You don't need to use any of that stuff. So if users can just click a button, they're good, So the UI is made to make it extremely simple for people to onboard. Everything's there, miner otherwise there, the amount they get is there. People really don't have to do any math. There's even a Next calculator built into the dApp. So people can share it on social media, they can refer their friends there, etc., etc. Felix says, how do we mine it? Do we connect MetaMask? Yeah, so you'll basically go to the dApp, which is locked now, but it will unlock within the next 10 days once all the contracts are deployed. And you just connect your MetaMask and you click a big blue button that says create miner. That's pretty much it. And if people want to ask a bit more questions, like I'll be on live stream for a little bit, go to the description. There's 4 links in there. 2 are the Telegram groups. I highly recommend joining both. One is a news Telegram group. That's by far the highest signal to noise. So if you just want to get the most important information the fastest, join the Next news group. And if you want to talk and ask questions, I'm in there pretty much all day long at this point. Next Crypto, t.me/Next Crypto is a chat. t.me/Next News is the newsroom. It's all in the description on YouTube. Go ahead and join those. Mustard P says, please do a live stream with the launch. Maybe. I'll be extremely busy on launch day, so I don't think I'll be able to slip in a live stream. Maybe after deployment, maybe a couple hours after or something. Then everything's just running. Next says, how does Ether enter the smart contract for buy and burn? So the way it works is when you create a miner on Next, there's an Ethereum cost to it, and you spend time. So for example, there's 2 main variables that you manipulate on miners. One is the number of days you want your miner to go for, and then the second is the amount of power you want your miner to have. Power determines the Ethereum price, length determines how much coins you get, meaning Next tokens. You could say coins, tokens. Coins is kind of for L1. Tokens is for ERC20s and stuff. So technically, it's a token. So determines how many tokens you get. So the Ethereum enters a smart contract. We build a lot of security practices into the smart contract. So for example, the contract never asks you for permission on your Ethereum in your wallet. Never, ever, ever does it ask you for approval for your Ethereum. You just send Ethereum to the contract using the create miner function, which is handled all by the DApp. And this makes it as secure as possible. So that the smart contract really never has any approvals on your wallet. Good security design. We care about security. There's a reason we paid so much for audits and got 3 auditors. Do you know that the average crypto project got 1 auditor? And that's it. That's how they do it. And then when I look at all the behemoths, so I watched DeFi Security Summit. All of the behemoths, guess what? They do 3 to 4 audits on their protocol before it ever touches mainnet. So I'm learning from those guys. So the Ethereum, when you send Ethereum to the contract to start your miner, it gets put into pools, and then users call the decentralized function. It's called distribute ETH, the decentralized distribute ETH function. They get incentivized for calling it and calling this function. So the individual user doesn't pay for all the gas costs for sending the Ethereum everywhere. There's a pool that it goes to, and then this pool gets distributed out by a decentralized function called distribute Ethereum. So it's users with their own private keys distributing the Ethereum. It never touches my hands. It never does. This protocol is as trustless and permissionless as we can make it. It's all smart contracts interacting with each other. It's code. I don't touch anything. Like the actual logic and stuff happens in the contracts. It's very, very important for people to realize. So it goes to a pool, and then people, the users, call distribute Ethereum, and then it sends it off to everywhere it needs to be sent off to, the buy and burn smart contract, etc., etc. Register for the Ethereum cycle, payout for staker. Permanent 360 says, is it better to do 1, a mining ladder, 60, 120, 180, 280, and stakes as sell along the way, or 2, do max miners and sell all tight next at the top of the bull market? I mean, I'm definitely a fan of the second option. The second option will probably be result in more. Man, I have to be so careful as a founder to not talk about price predictions, but option number 2 will probably serve you very well, more than option number 1. But different people have different time preferences. Like the mining ladder strategy is totally fine. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But for the maxing chats, the guys who just want to max everything out, max miners are definitely the best. What's up, Kevin? Gabriel says, since you're streaming at Smooth in Crypto, I'm looking into numerology and Chinese astrology. Shit is interesting. I would love to hear you speak about it in the future. Excited for Titan X. Man, yeah, I'm a massive fan of numerology, astrology, and gematria. Appreciate it, man. Era says, you mentioned the cost to claim is about the same as Uniswap swap. Is the claim cost constant, e.g. the same cost? Yes. No. So when you create 100 miners, so the gas cost is very, very similar to Uniswap swap, and it doesn't move based on your length, it doesn't move based on your stake length. It's pretty much a set gas cost that you have to pay for the Ethereum network. And if you claim 100 miners, there's also a batch claim button. So if you have the batch claim button can claim up to 100 miners at a time. So you just click one blue button that batch claims all the available miners. The DApp also automatically filters everything. So you'll see all of your active miners, you'll see all of your currently claimable miners, and you see all of your ended miners. So you don't have to go look around like a monkey in between stuff to find what has ended. Very important. There's also a bunch of filter options and stuff, so it makes it very easy for people to find. And you have to individually end your miners. But yeah, the cost is the same for one miner, and then you have to do that for every one of the miners. The gas costs really only matter if you're not in profit, which I can't talk about that. Mike Dean says, trust Matt, not men. Yep. Titan X says, because after 1 year, you can't really mine too much anymore. Are you worried about after 1 to 2 years, the Ethereum disk for stakers will be too low? No, not at all. The payout cycles are set up in a way where everybody benefits for a very, very, very long time for all the Ethereum that got in. Look deeper into the Ethereum cycle payouts. I'm a little bit sick, like my throat is sore. So if I stumble a little bit on my words, it's because my throat is pretty fucked. Kevin says, so pumped. Nice. Jamie says this could be the gem. Who knows? Especially after Hyper. John says, why did you skip past my question? John says, okay, so this question. Why did you not get integrated an auto compound system for rewards when you wrote the contract? Because you want people, if they want a compound, you want people to re-enter the system because it fuels everything. It's just way better design. Permanent 360 says, the problem with the ladder is that you're hoping that the price you'll sell at earlier will be better than the price you could sell at from all your max miners. No. it's hard to guess what the market will do. Like crypto drops 40%, 50%, 60%, 80% all the time. So you might be able to get your money during a pump, for example, a hyper event, or during a big payout cycle, something that triggers a lot of people to buy. So if you catch it during a pump, it will very likely be more profitable than a max miner. So it's just different time preferences. DTM says, I don't think people realize the 62% buy and burn, the effect 62% buy and burn will have on price. I don't think people fully understand it, but they'll understand it once they see the chart. Then they'll be like, damn, this Jake Sharp dude is a lot smarter than I thought. And then I'll shove it in their face. Yes, I'm cocky. I don't care. Titan X says, you can't be cocky if you have a good idea. You can't be cocky if you have a bad idea. Titan X is a brilliant idea, so I'll be brilliantly cocky about it. Titan X says, I still think that max mining is the best option. Probably. Like, max mining gives you the most coins at the lowest cost. You just have to wait. And if you're willing to wait, you should get rewarded the most. That's pretty much how it works. Okay, so during the Twitter space I did a Twitter space roughly an hour ago. Baller Shot Crypto Ball. What's his name again? Something Baller Shot. He did a great job hosting the space. We did a Twitter space, and the main questions I got. So there's I would say 3 main components to Titanx. One is mining, so actually creating your coins and starting miners. Second is staking and getting Ethereum payouts. One very crucial design about how the Titanx staker payouts work is when you lock up your Titan in a stake, your Titanx is locked, but your Ethereum is liquid. Now, there's a very big reason we did the Ethereum staker payouts in Ethereum and not on Titanx, because when you create it so most staking protocols work like this: the token hyperinflates to reward stakers, and then stakers have to sell down the token on the market to be able to realize their staking gains. That's horrible design, absolutely horrible design for long-term price performance. So what you need to do is you need to give people something else that people can dump to realize their gains without hurting the actual main core project price. So because a lot of Ethereum is flowing through the protocol, the Ethereum that you get from your staking payouts, that's liquid. So your Titanx is locked in your stake, but your yield is liquid. So if you get a payout from one of the payout cycles, you can go ahead and go to the dApp, claim the Ethereum, and it's liquid. You don't have to wait until the end of your stake. It's liquid. You can use it to start miners. You can use it to buy groceries, whatever the hell you do. But the yield is liquid. Your Titanx is staked, and the staking doesn't cause extra inflation. Very good design. I like it. XC says, apologies if I missed it, but what risk do you have other than buying off market early on? I mean, it's every other risk that applies to every other crypto. If an asteroid hits Earth and all the internet goes out, yeah, you lose all of your money. But I think you have bigger issues if an asteroid hits planet Earth. But yeah, you have all of the things that apply to any other crypto. You have price volatility, you have dips, you have FUD, you have all of it. If you mine, you know exactly how much you're paying per Titanx that you mine at the end of your miner. It's very, very predictable. So if you mine, you reduce your risk by a lot. If you buy on market, you need to have a trader's mindset because supply is coming out, the buy and burn is buying it up. Titanx will probably be a trader's dream to trade, which is good. So there's a very, very big design principle that we did with liquidity pool. So this buy and burn smart contract goes ahead and creates the liquidity pool and essentially locks it. This liquidity pool is a 1% exotic pool on Uniswap V3. This is very important. This is not done by accident. Nothing in Titanx is done by accident. So Uniswap V3, a 1% exotic pool, if there's a lot of volume on that pool because traders love the chart, that's great because it attracts liquidity providers. And that's exactly what you want because the goal with Titanx is to make it a very, very thick liquidity pool on the Ethereum side. So people can sell into it and not hurt the price, but very thin on an actual Titanx available on market side. So it's easy to push up the price, hard to push it down. That's the ideal scenario. There's a lot of nuance when it comes to liquidity pools. But having a 1% exotic pool makes it very attractive for liquidity providers to come in, especially if there's a lot of volume. And the buy and burn in and of itself will create a lot of volume. Titanx says, so 280-day max miners cost more Ethereum to start and say, no. So the length does not impact your price. What impacts your price is the power. And the power also determines how much Titanx you get. So the miner power determines how much Ethereum you pay and also how much Titanx you get. It's the same. So for example, on day one, a 280-day miner gives you 1.707 billion at the end of your miner. And it's you interacting with the smart contract. There's no company, there's no central authority, there's no critical individual doing any work whatsoever. It's code on chain. But when you do a 280-day max miner for 100 power, you get 1.707 at the end of your miner. If you do 1 power, it's just 1.707 billion divided by 100. and you also pay zero point 0.2 Ethereum divided by 100. So Miner just allows smaller people to get in very easily without having to have a bunch of Ethereum in their wallet. Also allows you to put a bunch of Ethereum to work that you haven't sitting around in random wallets. You could just start small miners, make your Ethereum productive pretty much. And so what determines the cost of your miner is the miner power. You can have, so for example, if you have 100 miner power and one day 100 miner power, it's also zero point 0.2 Ethereum. It's the exact same cost. So the longer out you go, the less you pay per Titan X. Lolmeister.com says, avoid the name Titan X. One, Gematria. Two, 2024 is the year of the X. 2024 is the year of the Dragon. 2024 is the Bull Run. And I wanted to call it Titan and not Obama, Trump, Sonic, 10, Inu, because I like the name Titan, because this is going to be Titan. Kevin says, and also if you put Titan X in the Gematria, it's 88. 88 is a very good number. Kevin says, how does the timing of the Titan launch align with the upcoming bull run? So you should have 280-day cycles of your miners before we hit the bull run top. So I called the Bitcoin bottom on the day 2 months in advance publicly on YouTube. So I called the November 2022 bottom way in advance, and people can go back on my YouTube and validate it. So I call that on the day. So what happens then is November 2022, you hit a bottom, which you did, and then you go sideways for a year, which is until next month, November. Then you go linear up until the Bitcoin halving, which happens in April. Then maybe have one more scare dip, and then it all breaks loose, full bull market. And my top call is 3rd of March, give or take a week or two, depending on news events and stuff. But if you get a very, very big news event at roughly the timing analysis top of the market, that's usually the top. The Coinbase IPO on this cycle was the top. So 3rd of March 2025 is my top target. So we're launching at the absolute perfect time. It's perfect. I like it. DTM says, I've seen so many projects and never one has designed the LP to scale. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Hey, I've been in crypto since 2016. I've pretty much seen everything. So it's going to be beautiful. I'm excited, man. Like, it's less than 10 days away. So if you guys have any questions, post them in the comments. I'll be on here for a bit. Perman 360 says, when you say top of the bull market, you mean top of BTC and Ethereum or top of altcoins? So the way it usually works, and Richard Hart actually said something extremely interesting. So the Bitcoin top happens, and then a month later, Ethereum. Look at the chart; it's pretty fucking accurate. When Bitcoin tops, Ethereum usually runs for a month, and since Titan X and altcoins, most altcoins are built on Ethereum, altcoins actually top a month later than when BTC tops. So if BTC tops in March 2025, well, then we probably have one more month of just euphoria bull run for altcoins. Because even if BTC tops, Ethereum can have a run for like another good month before it tops. And that's when Ethereum tops is usually when altcoins stop, unless you have like big news events keeping the price up. But that's important to know. Kevin says we'll tighten out scale up at the bull run. So yes, sir. Do you expect a downtrend for BTC, or is it all going up for now? Well, all going up for now. It's not like a linear line up, you know. Like it's interesting. Like there's only a few very volatile days in a year where if you're not in the market, you pretty much miss out on the entire move. Most of the gains in all of crypto are made during 40 days of the entire year. So if you're out of the market during those 40 days, you're actually in the red. So Bitcoin can be up 500% on the year, but if you're not in the market in almost 40 days, you actually be at a loss. So an uptrend where it's just linear up doesn't exist. You'll have dips and then bumps and then dips and then bumps. That's kind of how crypto works, and it just stair steps up. Yeah, the downtrend is done. Like the bottom we hit back in November 2022. Like we're in the bull run. Like this is a bull run, mini bull run. Like we're kind of in like, how would you say it? We're like in eye of the storm, pretty much. Like we have a year of sideways, which ends in November this year, so next month, and then hey, that's bull run territory, man. Like in the last cycle, guys like us were called 4-year conspiracy cycle theories, and everybody was laughing at us, and Bitcoin was going to 100K. But hell no. Guess who was right again? I guess who was right about the bottom? Everybody's like, yeah, nah, Bitcoin going to 10K. Lol says, I missed all the lead up to this. And so far, people like me, can you explain how you would participate? Just connect to the DApp and start mining. That's it. Yep. And the DApp will display all of the statistics and all of the numbers you need to know. Like it will be very user friendly to interact with. And I would also recommend, since you're on my YouTube channel, is click on my YouTube channel and go to my videos. I posted a video called Titanx White Paper Overview. Watch that video. I think it's also in the description. Watch that video. It explains everything as in depth as I can explain it. I basically did a video run through of the entire white paper so people have a full grasp. People who like to read can read the white paper. People who like to watch and listen can watch the video. Rayman says Titanx on Ethereum home run. Caleb says, is it worth either buying Titanx off the market or mining many miners short term, say 1 day or less than a week? I wouldn't do 1 day miners, man. Like it's dangerous. I would to be fair, I wouldn't do less than, if you really want to like squeeze it, 8 days. Like 8-day miners should be the minimum, in my opinion. Like people who do 1 day miners are living life on the edge. There's a very high chance that they won't be profitable. But 5-day miners, is it worth either buying Titanx off the market or mining many miners short term to get your 80 billion Titanx so that you can thereafter burn? Yeah, so the burning won't really apply until Hyper launches. So the burn pool doesn't exist until Hyper launches, which is roughly 3 to 4 months in, is kind of what we're targeting at. This is not a promise of any kind, so don't have any expectations. But Hyper is definitely launching. I have to see how development goes. But if you have a lot of time to get to that number, and I would honestly do that through Hyper. Kevin says, is there a referral opportunity for those who want to share the protocol? Well, that's a global referral program, meaning that miners that come in after you get a T ranker signed to your miner. The people that come after you give your miner a little bit more Titan. So there's a global referral program. So you're incentivized to bring people in. The one-to-one referral programs are sketchy in crypto for like legal reasons. So we had to design a global referral program just to keep it, legally compliant. DTM says, for max miners that participate in Hyper, how do you see realizing fiat gains? Yeah, when people sell, the price dumps is normal. That applies to any crypto ever. Permanent360 says, at what price do you think Ethereum will top? Man, it's been a while since I looked at the Ethereum chart, but I don't see Bitcoin going past 95 grand, to be honest. Like, I think it will top out between 82K and 95K, which gives plenty of room for altcoins to do their thing. Are you worried with liquidity with 8 ETH so low? No, you want low liquidity. The price pumps hard as hell with low liquidity. You want low liquidity, seriously. And it doesn't matter because the buy and burn fills the liquidity pool. If it buys with 100 Ethereum, guess what? That 100 Ethereum doesn't disappear. That 100 Ethereum gets added to the pool. Because when you buy something on Uniswap V3, let's say you have Ethereum and you want to buy Titanx. That Ethereum doesn't disappear. If you buy with 100 Ethereum, you put 100 Ethereum in the pool and you get 100 Ethereum worth of Titanx out with you push the price up against yourself. This is getting very technical. But the buy and burn essentially builds the liquidity pool. So it doesn't matter how low it starts. All that matters is the buy and burn. Ryan Torres says, what's your Titanx strategy? I'm just going to do a mining ladder, dude. Like, that's pretty much all I'm doing. People are trying to overcomplicate it, but I'm just sticking to a mining ladder. So 60 days, 120 days, 180 days, 220 or 240 days, 280 days. I'm just going to 20% all of it. So 20%, 60 days, 20%, 120 days, 20%, 180 days, 20%, 240 days, 20%, 280 days. And then you can take your profits and roll it over into more miners. Like, there's a bunch of games you can play. Guna says, can people create bots or build mining for tools and stuff? If so, how do you prevent that? Well, if they have 1 million Ethereum laying around, sure. But man, to start 1,000 miners, you need 200 Ethereum. Like, it's the same. I can start 1,000 miners with 10 transactions using the batch miner thing. Like, bots have no advantage whatsoever because there's a set Ethereum cost. There's none of this cash shenanigans. Get all that cash stuff out of your head. It's stupid design. McCuskey says, can I get Titanx now? No, it will launch within the next 10 days. So go to the description. There's 2 Telegram links. Join both of them. Go to t.me/Titanx news. The link is in the description. And go to t.me/Titanx crypto. T.me/Titanx crypto is the chat. t.me/Next News. It's a news channel. It's the highest signal to noise. There's no talking in there. There's no nothing. Just important announcements. Um, and that's where everything will be announced. The launch date will be announced 2 days ahead of time, maybe even sooner. It depends on when the third auditor finishes up, gives the green light. But yeah, it's not live yet. Within the next 10 days, so we're almost there. We're almost there. JB says, how do you feel about uni KYC? I mean, people are so worried about KYC. Do I like it? Absolutely not. But also, I can almost guarantee everybody in the chat is KYC'd. If you have ever used a centralized exchange where you KYC'd and sent it off to a wallet, you're already KYC'd. Everybody thinks they're anonymous in crypto, but trust me, you're not. Like, there's a lot of chain forensic stuff. Like, for example, chain forensic analysis can actually hunt down people in real life, even if they have anonymous crypto wallets, because they on ramp through a centralized exchange and they off ramp through a centralized exchange. So everybody's KYC'd anyway. It sucks. I hate it. I don't like it. But it is what it is. Like, most people are KYC'd anyway. I mean, as long as you're not doing anything extremely illegal, it's nothing to worry about. Um, 1949 says, when can we buy Titan on Uni? Same day as launch? Yeah, probably 5 to 10 minutes after the pool is going to be created. So you can just copy the contract address on the website or inside of the telegrams. Do not fall for scam contracts. Do not fall for scam contracts. Do not fall for scam contracts, please. Go to the website, copy the contract address from the footer. Once the app is live, paste that into Uniswap. Do not fall from people sending you contract addresses. Do not click random contractors in a random chat. Do not fall for scammers. Do not fall of any of that stuff. Just go to the website, copy paste. It's 1 second. You're safe. You're secure doing it that way. And then just copy it into Uniswap, and everything's going to be taken care of. And if you want to see the pool, go to Deck Screener and just copy the contract address in there, and you'll see the pool when it's created. Probably within the first 5 to 10 minutes is my guess. Kevin says, you put a lot into this. What are you most excited about? Mining. I like mining. A lot of people are in love with staking, and everybody kind of has a different mindset. I love mining. I love the idea of mining. AB says, hey, so do we need Ethereum or wrapped Ethereum to buy Titan X? I was using 1inch, and for some unknown reason, I had to swap ETH to wrapped ETH. You'll need Ethereum. Yeah. Wrapped Ethereum, Uniswap takes care of everything anyway. You need Ethereum. So if you have wrapped Ethereum, I think you need to swap it over. Yeah. XC says, for the benefit of all, will you mute the Telegram chat at launch? Probably not. I like a little bit of chaos. It's entertaining. Is it that bad during launch? Interesting. We'll have to see. Maybe. If it gets completely out of hand, maybe. Might be a good idea. So for everybody new here, go in the description, join the Telegram groups, both of them, and watch the white paper video. It's on my channel. Watch it after this live stream. Ask your questions here. I'll be in the Telegram chats all the time, as long as I'm not sleeping, which I haven't been doing much of with the launch preparation, but it is what it is. It only launches once, so. Perman360 says, do you think this will be the last bull run? Nah, I think we have one more bull run. This bull run, and then the next one. And then after that, it'll probably become like the stock market. It will still outperform the stock market because it's a lot lower liquidity and less corrupt. I think we have 2 more good cycles in this. And really, if you're smart, you only need 1 cycle for it to be game over. Seriously. As long as you're not stupid and trading back and forth and getting yourself wrecked on random, anonymous, undoxed developer meme coins. Which is fine. But if you play the meme coin game, like, you have to be really, really skilled, or you lose everything. And if you lose everything and miss out on a bull run, trust me, you're going to be very, very sad. AB says, do you think launch will be at weekend? Well, we're not timing for the weekend, but if it just so happens to be on the weekend, it would be nice. I just want to get it out as soon as possible. Because we're there. We're just waiting for the green light for the third auditor. So if you guys have any questions, post them in chat. Let me see. I think I can actually post some things here. docs. If you want the white paper, go here. Docs.tightnext.win. Tightnext.win is the domain, and then you have wait, docs.tightnext. Yeah, this link. Go to this link and you'll find the white paper, and the video is also in there for the video run through. If you don't want to click on my channel. Permanent says, "What's the thing in life right now that makes you the most happy?" My girlfriend. I have an absolutely beautiful relationship with a beautiful girl, and Next, man. That's it. That's all I care about. I care about love and I care about work. I don't care about anything else. I don't watch TV. I don't watch Netflix. I don't consume toxic shit. All I do is work. Work and love. That's all I do. I couldn't be bothered watching TV or whatever. Man, it's just a brain dead activity. Nice. That means you're an evolved being. Awesome, dude. DTM says the third auditor gave you any new perspectives that were helpful? So far, no. Basically, the only thing he recommended was upgrading solidity on the buy and burn smart contract, and on the other stuff. But he only started like 2 or 3 days ago, so it takes time to run through it. So the way audits works is you do an audit, they run through the code base, they give you the initial report, you implement all the fixes that they recommend, and then there's a fix review. And then once the fix review has no vulnerabilities with all the code changes, and they give the green light, it will all be published and stuff. People will see. Birdman says you have a business partner. Well, Tightnext is not a business. I've heard you refer to we. When I say we, I just mean a community. Like Tightnext is as much of the community thing as it is my thing. So when I say we, I mean Tightnext collectively. You know, all the brain share of everybody in Tightnext. Yeah, because I'll just be one of the biggest evangelists for Tightnext, pretty much. And I love being on stream. I love talking. I love game theory. I love debates. Bring it. And for the people that want the white paper, go here. Docs.tightnext.win. Actually, let me make that a little bit nicer. Oh, bam. More clear. Permanent360 says, what can I do as a non-software dev to help with Tightnext? Share. So share content pretty much. That's the biggest thing you can do. Because building actually doesn't matter that much. Like everybody has genius ideas, but the only thing that matters is marketing and onboarding. That's the only thing that matters. And not stupid brand advertising where you put your stupid logo on somewhere and just expect people to be like, oh, that is interesting. Let me dig deeper into it. That doesn't work. Like this whole brand advertising thing is absolutely useless for crypto. If people cannot click on a link and connect their wallet, because there's such a big disconnect between somebody walking on the street and seeing a stupid logo. One, people don't have their MetaMask on their phone. Two, people don't know it's a crypto. People don't know anything. So the only advertising that works in crypto is direct response and it's grassroots, meaning social media. And on the Tightnext app, there's going to be a share page, app.tightnext.win/share. And it's going to be a bunch of pre-written tweets with real-time data in the protocol, how much has been buy and burned, how much is ready to be buy and burned, how much has been paid out to stakers, how much has been staked, all of the supply statistics. People are just going to be able to go to the app, go to /share, and click one button, and it will have pre-written tweets and pre-written posts for all of social media. So people can be on that page all day long and just click share, 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 and it will have beautiful tweets with data to be shared on social media. And there's also a bunch of stuff to take screenshots, and you can share that. There's a lot of social tooling built into it. Because a good idea is only as good as the amount of people that know about it. There's a bunch of genius people that cannot communicate, and their ideas never go anywhere. What's up, Yusuf? Permanent says, awesome. I'm onboarding 2 non-crypto friends at Tightnext, getting ready for launch. This will be their first experience. Get them to mine. Don't get them to buy, and they'll have a great experience. Yeah, because like, what's the risk? There's no pre-sale. There's no ICO. I don't own any coins. There's nobody that can dump on them. There's no VCs. There's no pre-sale. There's no backdoor deals. There's no nothing. It's code launched on chain. No one owns any coins. So they can your friends cannot become exit liquidity for some other scumbag. It starts at zero. It's very hard to lose when something starts at zero. You know what I mean? The biggest risk is smart contract vulnerability, but I paid a lot for three of the best auditors. So if this stuff gets hacked, I don't know anymore, dude. Like these are some of the best auditors, seriously. So, and even the third auditor was like, "Hey, this guy and this guy audited the contract first. The code looks pretty clean so far. I don't think I can find anything." I was like, "Please find something. I paid you a lot of money. Please find something." But he pretty much likes the code. So, and this is after the two audits. The first guy found a lot. The second guy found one big thing, and then the third guy is now bug hunting for the pretty much last things. Not even sure if he's going to find anything. George says, which was better, buy directly from uni or create miners? Create miners. Mine, 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 mine. Come on, dude. This is a serious question. How compulsion started at zero but somehow dumped? There was $1 billion worth of sacrifice that went into Pulse X, and there was 660 million that went into Pulse Chain. That's a $660 million pre-sale, and Pulse X was $1 billion pre-sale. There's $1 billion already in. You know, that's not this is launching at zero. It's just a marketing thing. Omar says, "Can you please repeat your personal strategy for Titan X?" Mining ladder. So let's say you want to deploy hypothetically, if we're talking about a friend here, not financial advice. But if you do 10 Ethereum, 20% do 60-day miners, 20% do 120-day miners, 20% do 160-day miners, no, 180-day miners. It's basically go plus 60, 20% 240-day miners, 20% 280-day miners. It just kind of spread it out like that. And then you can roll over with your profits, take your profits, start more miners. You can stake, you can do whatever the hell you want from that point. That's how I would play the start. Let's see. Maybe I missed some questions. And coming back to this, if somebody missed the lead up, just go in the description, find the YouTube link. Let me double check. I think it's in the description. Join the two telegrams. Very, very important. Like your Titan X news telegram will get the news first. You won't find it. So this is kind of how Twitter works, right? A lot of people think they can just follow a dude on Twitter, and when he posts something, they'll just hear about it. That's not how it works. How often in crypto have you been waiting on something on Twitter only to see the tweet scroll by on your news timeline like 12 hours after it was posted? That's not how it works. So just join the t.me/TitanX news. Go to the description, click the link. You don't have to manually type it. Join that. That's going to be the first place where the live contract deployment gets announced. All the contract addresses, the DApp, etc. Everything's going to be in there first. Twitter will be second, and then after launch, we'll probably do live streams and stuff. But if you're waiting on live streams, you're going to spend a long time waiting. Permanent says, Boss Man, that's a good name. Permanent says, what is the meaning of the floor price of Titan X, the lowest it can go before it becomes unprofitable? Yep, exactly. So Titan X has an exponential curve on the price floor, meaning that the price of something tends to trend towards the cost to produce it. So, for example, a house, the price of a house will very unlikely drop below the cost of the concrete, the walls, all of it to build it, because that's the hard materials that people can sell it for. So it rarely drops below that unless it's like a crack house or whatever. So the price floor moves up exponentially. And if you want to see that more in detail, go to the white paper, docs.titanx.win, right here, and click on see the daily update, that section. That will explain everything, how the price floor works, how it moves up pretty exponentially over time. So it becomes harder and harder and harder to create Titan X very rapidly. Stefan says, so you're launching 2 to 3 days after you get the green light from the auditor. Yep, pretty much. Perman says, is there a chance that the market price often exceeds the price floor at different periods in time? Of course. Hell yeah. I mean, just look at the chart. You'll the price floor matters for the lows, for the bottoms. Other than that, it doesn't matter at all. Matters zero. It's just you want to have a curve in the chart where it tends to trend to the upside. You never want to have a break the launch bottom. That's one of the worst charts you can have. Yusuf says, just curious about how you see the project looking once we hit the caps on mining amounts at 800 Titan per day. That's like, I think, 2,628 days in. Do you think people will want to mine then or buy on market? Probably buy on market. And people can still mine because then it becomes kind of like an arbitrage coin, which is beautiful. Yeah, so the caps get hit, if I remember correctly, on day 2,628. Cool numbers, right? 26, 2 plus 6 is 8, 28, number well. That wasn't even that came completely by accident. Everything else was like numerology design, but that the caps hitting the caps on that day, that was not designed. That was just kind of like God's gift, I guess. Goonan says, have you done any future simulations? 100% yes. And I can't share them because as a founder, I can't talk about price predictions. I can't talk about what has happened. I can't talk about what will happen, especially when it comes to price. But if the chart goes up, you'll bet your ass I'll be spamming Twitter with charts. Ryan Torres says, is Ethereum Gwei matter than mining Titan X? No, not at all. You just pay whatever you would normally pay to do anything on Ethereum. Building it around gas is so stupid, man. It's I don't want to shit on other projects, seriously. So I'll not go into that topic unless somebody directly asks or somebody starts attacking me. I'll go savage mode if somebody starts attacking me. Okay, let's see. Titan is Titan X mining gas intensive like Hex contract? No. So one of the issues with the Hex contract is a staking mechanism where the longer your stake lasts, the more it has to go back in time and look up the data on chain, which is very gas intensive. Titan X doesn't have any of that. So we solve that with the staking. So the cost to claim is the exact same, or the cost to end the stake is the exact same for a 1-day stake as it is for a 3,500 day stake. So the gas costs don't move, like they're set, because we did some math magic. We actually did a lot of innovation when it comes to the code. Seriously, like the developer was so good, so good. And it's an in-house developer. We're not working with some kind of third-party offshore retard firm. Permanent 360 says, will Hyper have its own token? We'll talk about Hyper later on. Let's get Titan X off the ground first. People can speculate on Hyper. I'll drop some hints here and there. Martin says, how is the V3 liquidity pool started? Where are the Titan X coins coming from? So there's a one-time callable function inside of the buy and burn contract. So the buy and burn smart contract has a one-time permission to mint 100 billion Titan X to lock it in the liquidity pool with 8 Ethereum. So it's all handled by smart contracts. I never touch those coins. AB says ticker will be Titan X. No, so we changed the ticker. It's now going to be Titan X. Yeah, because Trayvon made a very, very good point about the ticker being unpronounceable. So that was a very good point. So we changed the ticker. XE says, does the DApp show global stats and ranks? Yep. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of data in the DApp. And then once the contract is deployed, we can build a subgraph on top of it to build a very, very, very good stats dashboard, which is one of the things that we want to build for the dApp, where people can see everything, supply coming out, all of it. But that's going to take a while to build. Permanent 360 says, "What's the biggest lesson slash insight you learn in the process of creating Titan X?" That Solidity is a lot harder than you could think. The language itself is relatively easy if you were a developer, but there's so many edge cases and ways it can get hacked and attacked, and all the vulnerabilities and security best practices. Like actually learning Solidity is relatively easy, but making sure it's secure code, hard, so hard. You have overflows, underflows, re-entering attacks. You have a bunch of stuff you can do with the block timestamp, like manipulating that. And miners can play games on your protocol, so they can basically steal funds from users. There's MEV arbitrages where your transaction goes to the mempool, and then people can play around with that, and they can build their attacks around what's happening in the mempool before it hits the main chain. You have flash loan attacks. Solidity is easy. Building a very secure smart contract is not easy, which is why most things get rug pulled. But I used to be a developer, so I understand all of these edge cases. But auditors do never trust anything that does not have audits, because even auditors say this: perfect code does not exist. A developer, no matter how good it is, will have bugs, will have vulnerabilities. Not even if it's the best dev in the world, they will still have vulnerabilities. So you need audits. In fact, you need multiple audits if it's a relatively complex code base. Mr. Chuck says, "Are you hoping the liquidity pairs are fuel like Titanx and Ethereum?" Nah, I just want it to be all Ethereum. All Ethereum, and then there's going to be a very, very big pool between Titanx and Hyper. And there's going to be some magic happening there. Like, if you think Titanx is crazy, just wait until you hear about Hyper. And Hyper is designed to help Titanx. Like, it's not just some random freaking protocol. Like, it's all designed to help Titanx. You won't see me building a bunch of random stuff that has nothing linked to each other. The proof of burn function was built for us, and other people can use it. All right, sweet. I'll hop off the stream. I'll do some more streams before we actually go live. Sweet. If you guys have any questions, join the Telegram. I'll be in the Telegram answering questions. Because I don't watch TV, so I'm pretty much in there all the time. Go to the Telegrams, watch the white paper video, go to docs.titanx.win, get yourself educated. You want to be educated before the launch. You don't want to be the guy scrambling at launch trying to figure everything out. There's a reason I talked about it early, so you can all get prepared. I'm going to be participating together with everybody else on launch. I have a lot of Ethereum sitting ready. So I heard Trayvon talk about, hey, I think Titanx will be roughly the same as Zengame when it comes to Ethereum. Zengame has 60 Ethereum in it. Bro, I'm deploying more than 60 Ethereum. And let's just say I'm in touch with a lot of whales. There's well over 1,000 Ethereum sitting ready to participate on launch. So this is not a small protocol. We're not coming here to play. We're coming to take over. So all right, I'm going to end the stream. If you guys have any questions, join the Telegrams.